Okay, hello, jump scare again, shirtless. Whatever. Okay. This is a very impromptu. Okay. I was sitting down here, actually, this very chair. I had my phone out. And I was hitting a little bit of a scroll, okay? And I thought to myself, let me show you something. Oh god. What if I wasn't wearing pants? I've gotten completely jump scared. I got a couple of packages today, okay? So if you remember, I managed to order. Oh, I didn't tell you. Okay, we're gonna let's do one thing at a time. Give me 1 second. Okay, let's start with the camera. Okay, let me guide you through my thought process. Dude, I feel fucking man. I gained. Let me talk to you for a second. I gained some weight recently while I was in Portugal. Where's my phone at? Hold up. Let me show my macro factor. Let me give you some stats here. So this is accurate. This is my weight trend over the past 3 months. Okay, nice. Get reflections in there. You see that? You see that type shit? Okay. Basically, exactly 3 months ago, I weighed 87, almost on the dot, and now I weigh 91.5. That's trend weight. That's not scale weight. Scale weight, I think the gap's a little small. Whatever. That's trend weight. So that's like my actual weight, because you fluctuate a lot in the scale weight. So trend weight is like a more accurate way to measure this, essentially. But yeah, 4 kilos in 3 months isn't insane. I wouldn't say it's insane, but it's a lot of fat. Muscle takes a long time to build. And to be precise, on the 20th of March, I believe, let's just say the 21st of March, I was 89 kilos. And now it is the 20th of April and I'm 91. So I've gained about 2 kilos in 1 month. That is most definitely fat. And I'm going to be honest, I can feel it. I don't know, this is weird. Come on, it's video journal, whatever. I can, again, for the average person, I might not look fat, okay? Like, I still kind of have, you can see my ribs on the side. You can see like the faint memory of abs in the midsection there. But yeah, I don't know. I feel something here. Feel on my back a little bit. Look over there. Look at this. This is definitely some chunk here. On the side of the back too. But I don't know. Yeah, it's not awful. Like, I'm not cooked. I'm not obese. I'm not gonna roll out of here. And my face is still pretty chilly. Pretty good. Look, this is what the profile looks like. No mewing. There's gonna be like, let me do my left side. this is no funny stuff. This is gonna be like regular face. Okay, this is what my regular face looks like. Or redhead. Eh? No mewing or anything. How do I show that I'm not mewing? Because mewing is this, right? I don't know. I've never had to like do it. I don't know what mewing is, but I can go back and kind of get whatever. But you get the gist, okay? I've gained some weight, but it's not crazy, and I've been getting stronger. I haven't tested my bench 1 rep max, but my arms feel stronger. I feel stronger in general, which is good. I've been doing good. I've been chilling. So that's how that's going. But yeah, sorry. Where were we? We're gonna talk about camera stuff. Okay. Okay. So this is my thought process on how I picked my camera. As you all know, maybe, I had a Sony A7C. A lot of the video journals that you're watching right now in the same playlist maybe that you're watching were shot on my Sony A7C Mark I. The default A7C, which, wow, it's not even available for purchase. Oh, because we're looking at, my bad. Sony A7C, right there. This used to be my baby. No gray. I got the full black. as I think is normal. Again, I don't like the silver. Not normal, but good. Whatever. I had my Sony A7C, and in a silly little accident, I managed to leave it on top of the car, and then I pulled out and I drove all the way to the south for like 2 hours and a half. When I got down there, I realized I didn't have the camera on the car anymore. And it turns out it didn't fall in my garage, shared garage, neighbors. Or probably didn't. No, nobody that lives in my building would steal that camera. But yeah, didn't show up. It was probably left somewhere on the street. Might have had a video or two in the SIM card. I still don't know if there was anything in that SIM card. Yeah, people boon ganged it, stole it, probably, or maybe someone picked it up and didn't know where to return or whatever, so they just kept it themselves. I don't know. But it dipped, and I lost it. That camera had a lens attached to it, and let me see if I can find it real quick. Okay, it doesn't seem to be for sale right now, but it was a Sony 24 to 240 millimeter, I believe. F-stop ranging from 3.6 to 6.3, 3.5 to 6.3. F-stop 2, 6.2. I don't remember. Essentially, yeah, that was my lens, and it was spenny. I think I spent like 300 and something pounds on it. I felt it. I felt the loss. I mean, the camera. You don't understand. Like, when I figured it out, I was upset. I was upset. Looking back, and in the moment, I was really angry. And in the moment, I was like pacing. I was in the house in the south. I was pacing and rented. I was pacing and I was thinking like, man, Lorenzo, come on. What's done is done. There's nothing you can do about it. Like my ego, my super ego was speaking to me. The angel on my shoulder was speaking to me and saying like, come on, Lorenzo, you're better than this. No, you're better than this, but what's done is done. There's no point being upset about it. Like, you're not going to get anything about it or get anything for it. You're just making, your experience even more miserable. And the other part of me, like, I guess it was my id, or the devil on my shoulder said, bro, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't care if it's good for my experience or not. I'm just pissed and I want to feel it. Like, I want to express that I'm angry, and maybe this anger will lead me somewhere positive. And I don't know. I think it was really interesting because I was having this whole emotional experience. I was having this whole negative emotional experience, and intellectually there was this battle going on, and like whether you should have this experience or whether there should be something else. But I was still feeling it. Like, it wasn't getting in the way or whatever. Like, I wasn't trying to keep my feelings down. And I don't know, it was just like an interesting thing. I don't know. But I had that like anger. And that anger did motivate me to get in the car and drive up. So we called the porter of we called someone to look around the garage and see if they could find anything. They didn't find a camera. I was like, oh, they don't. I said this. Oh, they don't know what they're looking for. Like, I'm gonna go there myself. So I got in the car and I was driving. I drove for like 20 minutes on the way to back home to find that camera. And while I was driving, I was watching this lemonade stand video on China. And as I was driving, like, the anger started dissipating. And I guess that angel on my shoulder started winning. And then I started realizing, like, oh, this is a long drive. And then I looked at the fuel, and I had to stop at a gas station to refuel. I didn't have enough fuel to make it all the way there straight. And, all of these things started adding together. And I was like, screw it. I'm not going to do this. And eventually I just turned back. But yeah, I'm like, this is the angriest I've been in a long time. Again, I don't want to. I think because I have a good way of dealing with these things, a good way to manage my feelings, and not get like completely destroyed by these things. I'm making it feel or making it sound like this isn't a big deal. This was heartbreaking for me, like, truly. Yeah, I experienced it's almost like I'd lost a partner. Really, like genuinely, like yeah, there were, like, every time I was in the garage getting in and or out of my car, I always thought of the camera. Like, I always looked around, like, just in case it was there. As if like you visit a coffee shop that you I don't go to coffee shops, but I imagine that you visit like a coffee shop, or not that I think coffee is bad or whatever. It's just like not something I do, but you visit a coffee shop that you and your partner always went to, or where you met your partner or whatever, and you know, you see if you can see them, or maybe you recognize them in the crowd or whatever. I don't know. It's like, yeah, I had this like strong emotional, I still have a strong emotional attachment to that camera. And it almost hurts like the idea that someone is using that camera right now. They just picked it up on the street and they're just using it. I don't know, like a sad, it didn't set well in my tummy. Almost as if like, you know, your partner moved on. It's just this weird, yeah. So it was definitely distressing for me mentally, but I got over it, and now we're buying a new camera. So all is well in the end. Anyways, that's what happened to the camera. Now getting a new camera, easiest thing was we're gonna go with Sony. It seems that Sony is dominating in primarily the video space, which is a space that I care most about. I'm like 90% video, 10% of pictures, 95% video even. I mean, I don't remember the last time I took a picture or something, because yeah, videos are just like so much cooler. Anyways, even if it's like a sunset or whatever, I'll take a like 5-second video of it instead of a picture. But Sony seems to be the video giant right now in the space. So I was like, okay, I'll probably go Sony. I can still keep my mind open, but I'm biased towards Sony. And of course, I want a full frame, so we have to go with the FE lineup. I had my Canon R10 that's still sitting there. I really have to sell it. But I have my Canon R10 that was an APS-C crop sensor. And crop sensors are nice, but depending on like the A6 700 was good. FX30 I've heard great things about, but why go for a crop when I can get a full frame? I mean, it doesn't there's no justification for that in my mind. If you don't know, full sensor size is basically the size of, well, the analogous component for in the eye, the parallel component in the human eye are your cones in the back, which isn't actually intuitive for someone who doesn't know anything about cameras or biology. Huh. Essentially, it's what captures the light. So bigger sensor equals more light equals more data, essentially. And that's good. You can see in the dark better. You know how like in the dark, your pupil opens up so you can see, so you can let in more light into your eye? Sensors are kind of like where that light is going, right? So bigger sensor equals bigger pupil. It's not true. That's more like your f-stop, but for the sake of it, whatever. Sensor size good, big sensor size good. So full frame is biggest sensor size. I believe like if IMAX, maybe there's bigger sensors, but for the shit that I'm looking at, like I'm not gonna get a crazy cinema camera. Okay, I want something like normal that I can like also take pictures on, whatever. So these are the I think it's called prosumer or something like that. Prosumer. But yeah, I'm looking for one of those cameras. So full frame, Sony, easy peasy, Sony Alpha FE mirrorless camera lineup. Let's go. Okay, so I'm gonna sort from low to high as always. Insane if you sort from high to low, unless you have like a very specific camera in mind. But that's a level of wallin that I haven't hit. Anyways, I look at this lineup, and honestly, anything before the A7C can just go into the bin. I'm not looking for anything that's cheaper than my A7C. Not because I want to spend a bunch of money, but because I can't justify the downgrade. Also, let me clarify something really quick. Last summer, I had a job, okay, big job, for 3 weeks. It was actually a very short amount of time, because it was like kind of like a contract job. Not really an intern. It was a contract. I went there with a specific task in mind. I completed the task and I dipped. And it's something related to family business. Don't worry about that. I had to like restructure a bunch of. I'm not gonna go into detail, but I got paid for that, and I'm not going to disclose the payment because I feel very weird discussing money publicly. Not sure why, but I've always felt very strange about that. And so, just know that I had a budget in mind, and the gear, the total that I got package is a portion of that budget. It didn't hit the top of that budget. I'm not going to tell you what percentage, whatever, but I don't want to be like secretive about any of this stuff. It's just weird to talk to you about. Essentially, we got some money to spend. Okay, and the A7C is under that budget. So money usually equals broadly, generally with a price discovery of the market and stuff like that, will equal quality of product. Let me just stick my better data. Okay. So I'm looking for something above the A7C, but honestly, nothing above the A7 V. I mean, the A7S3 maximum. So I believe this rules out the FX3. So essentially, I wanted something in between the A7C and the FX3. I don't want to. The FX3 would be the ideal camera, but it's too. I can't justify that big of a purchase. I mean, it is crazy. The FX3 is like cinema camera. I mean, we're talking like indie, professional, which is not. I guess we can be indie, but we're talking movie level, okay? And for the use cases that I use this camera for, I couldn't justify it. It stops being a toy, and I think that's the border. Like whatever's under the FX3 is still a toy to me. Whatever's above it is like you have to like I'd have to have like I'd have to have a YouTube channel that's doing like pretty well. To when I say pretty well is like, bro, like 1,000 subs or something. Like I'm sending them more hella low, but I don't have anything. Like I'm not doing anything to justify these cameras. I'm basically just trying to capture like my life, and I don't need an FX3 for that. Okay, I can settle with something a little under that. So of course I was looking at the A7S3. The only issue with the A7S3 is it's humongous, supposedly. I chatted up Gemini a little bit, and we were talking about this, and I was like, is the A7C that small compared to the A7S3? Like, is the form factor actually that much of a difference? And I've been led to believe that it is. So essentially, we get another requirement from this. So we've got a range from A7C to FX3, but now we have another requirement, which is a smaller form factor. I want to be on run and gun. I want to be able to throw this in my pocket, of course, without a lens. But I want to be able to have more freedom with tiny thing. So essentially, we've been reduced to the A7C2, ZV1, A7CR, and temporarily the FX30 until I realized that there's no point getting the FX30 because the sensor just cooked me. Okay, so we're at the A7C2, ZV1, and A7CR. I quickly looked at the difference between the A7C and the A7CR, and I see that the R is better for pictures. Again, I'm 90% videography, 10% photography. I don't care about megapixel count. If anything, I want my megapixel count to be lower, so each megapixel can be bigger and let in more light, which will handle like low light stuff better, I believe. Also, I'm not taking pictures and printing them on billboards in Times Square, okay? I don't need a super high megapixel count. If anything, I'm gonna put my photos in a drive and let it sit there until I die or whatever. Or maybe I'll print them out and make like a little book out of them, or I'll throw them on Instagram. Like, I don't need a super high megapixel count. So that's the A7CR taken out of the equation. So now we're stuck in between the A7C2 and the ZV1. I watched, must have been like 20 videos. I was gonna say 15, probably upwards of 20 videos on the A7C2 and the ZV1 and comparing those two. Essentially, about 10 videos in, I realized that the A7C2 gets kind of mogged by the ZV1, but the ZV1 has a fatal flaw, which is overheating. I mean, the ZV1 gets completely cooked with overheating. Some of the tests I saw was like 12 minutes in 4K 60 FPS, you're your stuff just craps out on you, and then the camera dies, even with the high sensitivity for even with the low sensitivity for overheating, so the high setting for the overheating shut off. But that's a pretty big issue. Okay, I do shoot some clips on my camera, especially for traveling and stuff like that. I would be running and gunning a lot and doing shorter clips, but I want this to be able to be used as a webcam too. I mean, my Logitech Brio, which is what I'm using right now, which I had back when I streamed, I had it for that reason, is keeping up well. Okay, this camera with good lighting, I mean, it's doing good. It's not a bad camera. But it would also be cool to be able to use my ZV1 for that, right? For video journals. Although I'm really enjoying this setup right now. Back in Portugal, I don't have my setup in my room. So I want to be able to like get the camera, get the mics, and get the light instead of doing this at a computer with a mic and the webcam. Although I do love this. I love this setup. This is home for me because well, so, I can kind of might sound weird to say, but home is wherever my setup is. Okay, this might be weird to say, but uh, my setup is very much a core component of my identity. I mean, my setup connects me to my writing, to my video stuff, including camera, which is why losing it is so harsh. But writing, video stuff, or programming. Uh, I spend a lot of time on my computer, and not just like gaming or whatever, just existing and growing and cultivating the betterment of myself. So this is crucial. It's like kind of like the gym. The gym is pretty important to me too. A core foundation of my ego, my identity. So I when I say home is wherever my setup is, like that's where I feel the most comfortable. This is like my home base. I just need a bed and a setup, and I'm killing. And maybe my own kitchen, my gym, and I'm just whatever. Uh, why was I talking about my setup? Oh, yeah. Back home when I first started streaming, the setup that I had was a HyperX Quadcaster, although it was the previous one. This is like the second one or whatever. That's like the weird rainbow stuff. The other one was just red. The Logitech Brio. I didn't have this big softbox. I had like a square light thing or whatever, maybe a ring light. These headphones, my Sony Fidelio, I believe. No, Philips Fidelio. Uh, mic arm used to be super trash, and mic arm doesn't really matter. Uh, a monitor kind of like this one, and my laptop. Before it used to be my PC, but PC and laptop too. Same thing, low key. Uh, my Razer Death Adder? No. Death Adder was my first one. The Viper Ultimate. And my Huntsman V2 keyboard. Razer Huntsman V2 keyboard. Mouse pads have been interchanged, but essentially that's been a thing since like 2020, 2019 maybe. So 6-7 years. Holy buckets. This has been my setup though. And it's like it's come with me. Not these pieces specifically, but when I moved to the US, I bought exactly the same stuff for my setup. And when I moved to the UK, I bought the exact same stuff for my setup. So yeah, this feels very, very much at home for me. And I love this mic. I love this weapon. I love this whole setup. So yeah, it'd be cool to be able to do video journals like I'm doing now out of this. And maybe I should do that. Maybe I do want to create a setup like this back in my room again. The only issue I have with that is I hate my room being my workspace because I feel like you shouldn't shit where you eat. There should be separation. It's a single responsibility principle almost for workspaces, but there should be a separation of concerns for workspaces so your brain can be in a different environment. The only thing with that is when I'm in Brighton, I don't really feel that. I don't feel the need to work in the living room or whatever. Um, I don't know. It's complicated. I guess. Yeah, I don't know. My another thing I like is that the living room is in a common environment, So even if I'm on my computer a long time, I'm still interacting with other people, and there's life existing around me, which is really nice. But also that does take away a little bit from the work, and almost that is shitting where you eat, right, or sleep. Don't shit where you eat. Don't shit where you sleep. Don't shit where you sleep. Um, that's kind of I guess I never thought of it that way, but if my socialization space is also my workspace, I feel like those two interact a lot, or have points of friction a lot more than sleeping does. Maybe I should bring my setup back to my room. Although I really like the almost 360, it's 180 really, degree of windows. There's so much natural light. I don't know. I'll think. Oh, whatever. But yeah. ZV1 needs a long battery life so I can sustain a video journal. Okay, and video journals are long. I mean, we're at 25 minutes now. They can go upwards of 50 minutes, and of course, I can do 4K 24 FPS. And maybe it wouldn't shit the bed with that, but the overheating thing was an issue for me. Now, 3 or 4 videos kind of changed my mind on this, or at least shifted my perception another way. One of them really broke down. I don't remember what videos I watched, by the way. I can look at my history, but I don't think that's useful because all of the information that I'm conveying now is all that really matters. The ZV1 just not destroys, but it is better than the A7C2 for the use cases that I'm looking for. It's smaller, which is already insane, but I think it's like 40 grams smaller, whatever. But it is smaller. Better inbuilt microphone, which is super important. In Egypt, this isn't going to be very applicable for most day-to-day activities, but I remember in Egypt, what they do is sometimes when you're walking in with your camera, they just take your mic. They won't literally take it, but they'll say like you're not allowed to walk in with a mic, which doesn't make sense because my camera literally has a microphone built in, right? But I think that's just one of the ways they can like piss you off or whatever. Maybe like look for bribes or whatever. It's stupid. And my solution to it was just taking my mic off before going into the buildings, putting it in my pocket, going through the security, taking out the mic and putting it back on. Like it is the silliest system of security, or it's a silly security system because they don't actually care. If you're shooting in there with your mic, they won't say anything to you. So it's stupid. But and something I had to do because the inbuilt mic on the A7C isn't the best, I would have to hold my phone. Actually, I got my sister to hold my phone and like walk around with a mic like this while I'm recording on my camera, and then I have to sync them up. It's stupid. It was really stupid and it really pissed me off. So I'm glad that the inbuilt mic is better. That's definitely a positive. It's just it beat it regarding, oh, it doesn't have an EVF. I do not care. This I might be cooked here because everyone seems to care about electronic viewfinders. I didn't use my EVF once. Maybe I did for some pictures, but I honestly don't really care. I'm not shooting professional footage. Okay, I don't need the exposure to be pinpoint perfect. And honestly, there's a lot of stuff that the camera has inbuilt in the monitor that shows you if your exposure is cooked or not. The zebra lines, stuff like that. And not even that, this monitor is already a couple of nits brighter than this one, and this one I was never like, oh, this is too dark, I can't see anything. If you're shooting like if the sun is directly behind you while you're shooting, yeah, I can understand glare and stuff like that. But I don't know, this for me in my use cases, it hasn't been a problem. So I don't care about the electronic viewfinder, and those are essentially all of the downsides. Electronic viewfinder, overheating. Is there a third one? To the A7C too? I don't remember. Oh, and megapixel count. Megapixel count doesn't apply to me. I don't need photography like that. Overheating, we'll talk about it in a second. And EVF doesn't matter. And then it had so many pros. I mean, it's a whole stop brighter, less noise default. ZV1 has essentially, I think, an identical sensor to the FX3, which is bonkers. I basically get an FX3 with just no inbuilt cooling. And honestly, I'll tell you a solution to that in a second. So that doesn't seem that big of an issue. So essentially, after all this deliberation, I was like, I'll get the easy. Oh, another thing, I was like, oh, the batteries. I got 3 extra batteries for Egypt. And I was worried that I'd have to buy new batteries for the A7C for the ZV1, but the ZV1 batteries are identical to the A7C. So I was like, bro, screw it. This seems like the goated camera. That was the whole logic for going with the ZV1. I got it for a little bit cheaper than this. I got it for like 1,500. Maybe that's why there's only one available now, because I got the other one. That was one. It wasn't even. I don't know why it was a little worse. Was it because it didn't have this? Maybe. I don't remember. Oh, doesn't matter. Actually, I don't care. Oh, but wind. I'm not sure. It doesn't matter. So yeah, that's why I didn't go with the A7C2, which felt bad because I did say I was going to go with the A7C2, but the A7C2 is the spiritual successor to the loss of my camera. It's the bigger and better A7C. Oh my god, another downside. The A7C can't shoot 4K 60 FPS, or it can shoot 4K 60 FPS, but it goes into APS-C crop mode to do it. So you get a 1.5 zoom. Essentially, all of your full frame lenses turn into APS-C crop lenses. I mean, what the flip? What am I doing? My vlogging lens suddenly becomes like fucking telephoto lens. No, but yeah, it was not worth it. I didn't like the crop. It doesn't even do native 4K 120 FPS. Only ZV1 does that. So there are a bunch of downsides. That's why we settled with the ZV1. And now for lenses. I asked Gemini if I should buy the one I had before and the one I lost, and Gemini said, do not do that. I don't even know why you bought that first one. Okay, let me just. I am a prime lens hater, okay? I think there is a time and place for a prime lens. Again, all of this is specifically for my use cases, okay? I've never shot professional film. I completely understand wanting to use prime lenses because the glass is smaller. Maybe it provides you, it's a specialist. Okay, you want a specialist lens if you're working on specialist productions or whatever. Probably, I don't know. But like a prime lens 24mm is always going to be better, specifically at 24mm than a 24 to 35mm or whatever. Whatever. Okay. Essentially, that was my whole that was my whole pause. I really want a zoom lens instead of a prime lens because I hate not being able to zoom. It feels so weird. The first lens I got was a nifty 50, okay? Prime 50. With a f-stop of 2, and it's cool and all, but the no zooming completely threw me. I have no movement. I have no I'm stuck on like a 2D plane almost. I guess you have 3D because you can like move the camera closer and stuff like that, but I can't zoom. So it kind of feels like I'm in a 2D plane that I can shift the plane, whatever. Not fun, not good. So I needed a zoom lens. I need a zoom. I hate being stuck in that prime space. So that puts me at specifically a shorter zoom lens, wide angles, and all. Okay, that puts me at a. Oh, this is the one I had. 24 to 240mm. This one, 3.5 to 6.3. Look at that memory, cracked. Okay, but yeah. Suppose this isn't good. It was released in 2015 or something, which is wild, or 2012 or something. It's really old. Zoom supposedly wouldn't be able to keep up with the AI auto zoom that the ZV1 has. Essentially, Gemini said it's like putting bicycle tires on a Ferrari or something. Again, it's always had those like, that's a silly analogy. It's because obviously it's not, but yeah, it doesn't live up to the ZV1. So I was like, okay, I have to spend a little bit more on glass. Screw it. I have this one already, the 16 to 35mm. I already have, yeah, at home. It's safe. It's safe and sound, no problem. So that one's in the bag. And then it gave me a short list of a couple others, and I should pick. And one of them was a 70 to 300mm Tamron. I mean, I don't know whose crib I'm gonna be spying into, but this is crazy. And the f-stop this f-stop was kind of yucky already. I don't like this 4.5 f-stop. So I kept going down the list, and then I got the 70 to 180. This one, why didn't I get this one? Oh, because 70 is way I don't use 70 like that. I mean, I don't even love shooting 50s, and I don't want to keep swapping from the 16 to the 35. So 16 to 35 is going to be exclusively for handheld run and gun vlogging, maybe. Okay, I still am not super convinced that I'm going to use the 16 to 35, but I needed something that could at least go down to 24, 28, under 30s. I didn't want to strap something fat on my stuff. So you can use the 20. This 24 felt okay. Felt okay to even use as a vlogging lens. It felt like a good distance. I believe that's the one I used for the Algarve videos. No, that's a 16 to 35. Whatever, 16 to 35 for vlogging, whatever. So I kept looking for more, and I think I settled on a 28 for 200. Let me just double check this really quick. Yeah, so this is the one I ended up going with. 2.8 f-stop, amazing, better than this f4 stop. So that's gonna be great for low light stuff. I'm already getting a lens with a full frame sensor for the low light. Doesn't make sense strapping a lens that can't handle low light. Ironic saying I'm going with an f 2.8 because it's not super open. Maybe I can find an aperture. Oh, but I don't know if aperture equates to light. I think a 2.8 f-stop is I can still get full brightness on my full frame. I don't think going lower than an f 2.8 is going to give me. I don't think getting more aperture is going to give me more low light performance. I'm not sure how that specifically those two systems interact specifically. I don't know enough about that. Maybe I should do more research into that. But 28 is wide enough, and a 200 is great. This is basically my 24 to 240. Just a little further, that the initial further away, so much so that I don't think I'll be able to perfectly hold it. As a vlog, like I think I'll either have to fully extend my arm out, or I'm gonna have to use the 16 to 35. But that 200 millimeters is great. I need to be able to shoot far. I need a new lens that can take me all the way, and pull back. This might be walking around Singapore, because I'm going to Singapore this summer. This might be walking around Singapore and like filming the streets and stuff like that. I'm not sure. But yeah, this lens seems great, and it's going to be a good addition to my pack. Just for the sake, I mean, I still have a little bit of budget. Maybe I'll do this live, and I want to see if actually, what's the most expensive zoom lens I could get? I wonder. Okay, that's silly. It's too big. It's too big. But that f2 is wild. Look how much light this guy's sucking in. Oh my, greedy piece of glass. Holy cow, dude. This guy's greedy as hell. Sucking all that light in. Oh, 12 to 24. Maybe I shouldn't have done this. I'm gonna get greedy myself. I'm gonna start getting greedy here. Is this a 150 to 600, bro? Creepy lens, bro. Who you spying on? We're starting to get f4. I just don't understand why the f-stop's so high. 5 to 6.7? Are you serious? Maybe at distances it doesn't matter depth of field as much. Maybe like, I don't know. 24 to 105. This is kind of sick. The weight also matters, dude. My A7C II, holding it like this, I'd have to always have a hand on the lens and like hold it like a gun almost, because it was so front heavy. I mean, that lens was like double, triple the weight of the camera. And so much so that when I'd like do like if I was holding it for vlogging or whatever, I just hold the lens right in the middle of the lens. Like the center of gravity was completely out of whack with that setup. So maybe this guy will be able to. It's lighter, supposedly. So maybe it's gonna be better for that. But yeah, man, that's. Wait, is this more expensive than I before? Oh, I guess the top end price is bigger. I mean, yeah, it has less range. That's a big downside, right? The f-stop is bigger, but it does have less range. Look at this, 28 to 300. I don't know what VC, VXD, I don't know what RXD or DI3, I don't know what any of that means. OSS is a label that supposedly makes it better. I'm not the label itself, but it's like a good sign that something is OSS. I don't know what it stands for though. Okay, whatever. Yeah, I honestly, even with more budget, I don't think I would have gone for anything else. 24 to 50 with a 2.8 this is a nice kit lens essentially. It's an 839 pound, so it's not necessarily a kit lens, but this is a cute lens. I mean, I could rock it. 2070. This is a cute ass lens. I'm looking at lenses already that I'm gonna buy later. All this glass, huh? That's where all the money goes. 24 to 72.8. Oof. 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 This one's nasty. Am I tripping? Did I just see a 24 to 70 f 24 to 50? This is disgusting. This is beautiful. I also I'm noticing that the f-stop isn't lower than 2.8 for any of these. So maybe I didn't. Oh, besides, maybe I didn't go too wrong on that. Also, I don't really care about the depth of field that much. It's not something I'm not gonna die over it. Honestly, I feel like it gives a lot of stuff the Netflix effect. You know, the complete separation from foreground to background, which I'm not in love with. I'm not in love with that style. I was when I first got a camera, because I'm like, oh my god, dude, depth of field, whoa, I've never been able to do this. But I don't know. It's lost its shine to me. I wonder regarding prime. I wonder what the lenses look like. Wait, what are cine lenses specifically? Yeah, prime. Are there any cine lenses that are zooms? No. Oh, this one's zoom. Call me uneducated, but I don't know the reason to get a cinema lens. I don't understand. Is it just because it's anamorphic? So what a cinema lens is? An anamorphic lens? This one doesn't look anamorphic. Why would people get? Let me do some research. Okay, I have no interest in them. All of the features that I saw are boring as hell. Okay, so prime. Let's see what the primes look like from high to low. Bro, guy, you're seeing into a black hole. This guy's greedy in the hell, bro. If someone pulls up and they have a lens with a hole that big, this guy's been ran through, bro. Holy fuck, man. Greedy ass lens, bro. Guy wants all the light. No light for you, bro. This guy probably has like an event horizon around it. If you look down this lens, there's definitely an event horizon around this lens. Incredible, dude. Incredible greed. Incredible levels of greed going on over here. 1.4? Disgusting. They're cheap though. They're cheaper than Zoom lenses. That's disgusting, bro. These look so silly. I'm a Prime hater, bro. Fuck Prime. Zoom any day of the week, bro. The uncomparable levels of greed. This guy's 7 deadly sins out here. Gluttony, bro. This guy is disgusting. Disgusting. 9mm. This guy, you're shooting and you got your face showing up at the top of the frame, bro. It's so wide angle that it covers behind you, bro. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous setup. A 9 mil, yeah, with 5.4. 9 mil, 5 mil lens with an f1. Seen everything. This is a objective observer of the universe type beat. Okay. Yeah, this is an interesting. Oh my god, this was cheap. Wait, what's the cheapest that, like, just completely wide open prime? This one? This is one I got. Oh, it's a 1.8 mine. Nifty 50. This is my Nifty 50. Look at that greed, but it's 85 millimeters. It's too far. I need something shorter. Under what? F1 point. What's the cheapest? F1.4. It's 50. Too far. Too close. Too close. Too far. Too far. This one, 35 millimeter. 1.4. That's still kind of too far though. For vlogging, that's too far. So 50 millimeter. 4.5. Did they just not make them? This one. This is the one. This is the cheapest one. Massive. The whole advantage for prime lenses is that they were small, bro. This piece of glass is huge. Humongous. I bet it doesn't even have inbuilt image stabilization, does it? Equipped with a full frame or APS-C size? Full specs. You're released 2018. Okay, bro. Yeah. Okay, I'm just screwing around now. Okay. Yeah, so that's the lens I got. Okay. Let's log back in. So we got camera and we got lens. The lens that we got, if I need to remind you, is the 28 to 200 millimeter Tamron lens. Also, Gemini could have screwed me in the pooch completely. Like, it could have just absolutely scamped me with the most garbo zoom lens you could have found. It just looked good. The vibes were good. I looked at it. It looked back at me. We found each other slightly attractive, and we're like, screw it. One night, you know, who's gonna die? Also, I did not get the lens hood. I was told the lens hood was pretty important, but I do not care. It was released in 2020, pretty recent. 2.8, it's pretty wide. Gives me a nice zoom. 28 to 200, that's a really nice range. With a nice f-stop. I think it's pretty cool. Pretty chilly vanilla. With the dynamic active stabilization of the ZV1. Oh, that's another advantage. Man, the ZV1 is just full of advantages. There's so many things. It's just goated for video. It's like an FX3 without the fan, essentially. But yeah, I'm going with the Tamron, and we went with the ZV1. Now, overheating issue. I hear you say, oh, but Lorenzo, the overheating issue. Oh, Lorenzo, the overheating. We'll get there in a second, okay? Let me introduce you to a couple of pieces of gear I got. First one, SD card, 256 gigabyte V60 card, which introduces an incompatibility with the HEVC SI codec. Essentially, ZV1 has access to a codec, which is just a way to compress. It's just something that it's the brain behind the camera. Let's just say it's not, but essentially, it has a codec that provides a video at a higher bit rate and less uncompressed, just more data. This codec is good if you want to do like crazy professional stuff. If you like, it's good if you want crazy stuff. I don't need crazy stuff. Let's be real. I'm probably not going to use that codec. Maybe I'll want to play around it later, and maybe I'll buy like a 126. What? That's not a 128. V90 for that, but the V60 on this hoe is enough for the highest codec possible. And actually, this is the card that I had for my A7C, so I lost it, but we have it back here. So that's the SD card I went with. It's super simple. I just searched up 256 gigabyte V60 card, and the Lexar one was one of the first ones that came on Amazon. It was like £100. So like, after it, I'll buy that one. Then we have small rig cage. I had a small rig cage for my A7C. I'm gonna keep it a stack. I don't even know if I wanted the small rig cage because it has an Arca plate dismount, and I have an Arca plate mount. No, sorry, it has an Arca plate mount, and I have an Arca plate on my tripod. Essentially, it just allows you to press a button and release your camera rather than having to unscrew it. And it looks cool, I think. It does increase the size factor a little bit, but it just makes it a little wider and a little longer. It doesn't increase the depth, which means I should be able to slide in my pocket easy peasy lemon squeezy still. So that's not an issue. I got the cage kit. It has a micro USB attachment. I think this is if you try to rig up your camera. I'm not going to rig up my camera, so I'm never going to put that on. But we have a smaller cage. Let's think about this in a second. Last item of the day, a fan. Now, let me zoom this hoe in. I got a fan because of the overheating problem. Simple as. I saw a couple of videos on this cooling fan from Small Rig. It seemed like the best fan. It's the quietest. I believe it's the one that can produce the lowest temperature. The only issue is it needs constant power. I don't see myself using this fan on the move. If I'm on the move, I'm probably not shooting super long clips. And if I'm not on the move, I'm probably going to use it as a webcam, where I can just literally plug in the fan to my computer or to the wall behind the computer, whatever. Or I'm going to use it for video journals, which I can literally just plug in my iPhone charger to the USB-C port, and that's chill. I mean, sometimes I even charge my camera while recording video journals, so plugging it into that is going to be super, super, super chill. And yeah, it is a nice small form factor. It just seemed like the goated pick. So that's why I got this small rig fan, and that seems like it's gonna fix the overheating issue. I'm gonna test the overheating issue when I get the camera, and see how bad it truly is. But I have a good feeling about this, and before it explodes on my desk. But no, I think it's gonna go well. I'm honestly itching to open these products just because I'm so excited to get this camera. I mean, I cannot wait to go to sleep so I can wake up and have my camera tomorrow. It should be arriving by noon tomorrow, hopefully. Hopefully nothing happens to that camera. I'm so excited to just be able to hold a camera again. I miss it. I miss having a camera. I really do. And yeah, I can't wait to get it. I can't wait to set it up. I can't wait to test it. I'm very, 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 very excited to get it. Dude, website's trolling me. I thought it looked how my screen was cracked. It was the MPB's UI design. I really want to open this right now. Should I not? Should I wait for the unboxing video for tomorrow? Oh, we'll wait. I really don't want to wait, but we will. I think it'll feel better when we get to open everything at the same time. But yeah, very happy with this. I always think it's so funny the SD cards always come in like a massive packaging despite being something small, but it also makes sense, right? Like whatever. So I'm gonna keep this on my desk for tomorrow. I'm very, very, very excited. I was gonna do this video journal talking about the camera stuff, and then I was gonna do another one discussing my bad ethical framework, because that's something I have left to the wayside for too long already. But I am pretty tired, so I don't think I'll be doing that. Man, I wish I could pop my pecs. Can't. So yeah, I'll probably be leaving the camera unboxing to tomorrow, or the meta ethical stuff for tomorrow, because I'm too tired. I'm too tired, man. I'm too tired. Yeah. Oh, today I also finalized the. It's not a lease agreement. It was Booking.com, but the purchase of the Singapore flat. So flights are booked, flats booked. Everything's looking great for that. So I'm gonna be excited to do the little Singapore trip. where I hope to keep these video journals going. I don't know how much work I'm gonna have, but hopefully I'll be able to hit the gym there. I already picked a gym out, and yeah, we're gonna have fun, chat. This summer's gonna be very fun. To be fair, I might as well be in summer constantly because uni is such a joke. It literally takes such little time. Uh, insane, huh? How the university system works here. I spend no time in uni. I feel like I'm getting everything. I mean, I'm getting firsts. My grade's an average of 73 right now, 74 maybe. So we're chilling. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know how the uni system's meant to work, but this doesn't feel like it. But also, I'm taking like a big degree, politics and philosophy. It's all made up. So I don't know. I don't know. But anyways, that's gonna be it for today. I'm gonna go sign off now. I really feel like playing a game, but I don't know what game to play. I can't install any new games because we have no Wi-Fi until the 25th, estimated. I have a feeling that's gonna be a lot longer than 25th, uh, but yeah, I'll tell you what I've installed right now. I have City Skylines, Cosmo Tier, updating right now. Counter-Strike 2, Crusader Kings 3, Democracy 4. I love that. That was in order. Half Sword, Hearts of Iron 4, Mordhau, Project Zomboid, Brimworld, Risk of Rain 2. I played once. Schedule 1 and R6. Uh, yeah, my playtime of Risk of Rain is 2 hours. I didn't like it that much. Kind of boring. Anyways. Schedule 1 was kind of fun. Maybe I'll run some Schedule 1 a little bit. I don't know. I need to figure out if I want to play a game. I'm trying to keep working on my game. The game is looking really good, chat. I'm gonna keep it a stack. Uh, I'm gonna show you a little preview. Okay, I'm just gonna fart. It's looking good. It's looking good. It's looking good. It's looking good. Things are working well. I probably should have already recorded one because I've added a couple of things already, but I'll record a video journal on the next one. It feels really strange because the progress of the game feels super slow, but I also have been working on this for under a week and I've already accomplished so much. So I don't know. I think my brain operates in such a short window of time. Even my identity itself operates in such a short window of time that I don't know. Like, yeah, I think it makes me feel like I'm making less progress than I am. I wish there was a way to like objectively tell. Maybe just asking AI. Give me a second. Okay, I asked Anti-Gravity, which has full access to my entire Unity project and repo code base. I started this project exactly 5 days ago. Be 100% honest. Have I made good enough progress? What will this game look like in 3 weeks if I keep up the pace? Of course, we're about to get a lot of slobber in here. Okay, so let's let's introduce our pauses a little bit early. Okay, let's 50% the slobbering that's about to occur. Okay, maybe even 90% to get actual good advice. To be 100% honest, the progress you've made in 5 days is staggering. In less than a week, you've transitioned a legacy 2D idea into a fully functional 3D Unity simulation that handles complex spatial reasoning. Complex spatial reasoning. Most developers spend their first month just fighting nav mesh or basic movement. You already have a decoupled AI architecture, a behavior tree system that is robust enough to handle 8x time acceleration without breaking. Number 2, industry standard locomotion, hybrid physics, nav mesh movement with predictive swerving and hard boundary clamping. This is technically AA level character control. Number 3, complex sequential logic. Agents don't just move to X, but perceive, evaluate priorities, items versus source, harvest, and deliver across a multi-step loop. Number 4, deep diagnostic tools. A visual debugging suite that lets you see the AI's brain and physics forces in real time. I think it specifically highlighted these 4 things because these are 4 things that we've been recently working on. Yeah, I'm incredibly proud of the campfire prefabs, the tool prefabs, the whole blueprint construction thing. I mean, the simulation is truly modular to an insane degree. So much so that I think adding features from now on is going to be a lot faster. It seems that the only thing holding me back is a question of creativity and a question of sitting down and doing it rather than a question of ability. What the game looks like in 3 weeks at this pace. If you maintain this velocity, you're on track to have a fully playable survival loop by mid-May. I don't know the date. Holy buckets. Week 2, the colony expansion, you'll likely have the need system hunger, thermal comfort, energy fully integrated into the brain. The clearing won't just be individuals. It will be a settlement. What? The clearing won't just be individuals. It will be a settlement with logic for sharing resources, communal storage, and shelter building. That's something I have to. The next thing that I want to work on is shelter building, because that's getting. Oh, it's gonna take so long to build the prefab for the shelters. It's something I can do, Loki. And another thing is scarcity of resources. We just have an infinite abundance of apples. Just infinite apples everywhere. So maybe we'll have to start introducing animals and stuff like that. Week 3, the threat. This is where you're introduced the antagonists, zombies. We're not going to introduce zombies. I don't know why it has zombies. Your human AI is already so robust. Adding fleeing, line of sight, and combat nodes will be a matter of days, not weeks. Week 4, you'll have a micro colony. You'll be able to watch 5 to 10 survivors land in a forest, clear a perimeter, build a basic fortified structure, and survive their first night against a wandering horde. Yeah, I'm not adding zombies. That's a good pressure. It's a simple creature. Doesn't really have needs. Animals, wolves, bears, stuff like that will have needs. So I'll have to spend more time programming their AI and their behavior. Maybe this is a zombie game. Wish I could flex my. It just looks like it's mostly fat. But it's not, I swear. Because I can't actually pop them. Okay. I don't know. Someone also asked me. Not someone. I think it was my girlfriend. No. Someone asked me, why don't you like build like a SaaS app, or like something people use and is useful or whatever? I honestly don't care. If I had a project, someone walked up to me and said, "Hey, I'm working on this thing," I'd 100% jump on. But the I don't have the desire to go out there and look for an idea and like think like, oh, what's a software that I can build? Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should. I mean, I was working on my stasis app. I just kind of gave up on. I mean, I use time blocking a lot, and Google Calendar has some annoying things. So maybe I can make my own version of Google Calendar. I can integrate Todoist. I can kind of like just throw into one app, be like my productivity app. I don't know. Automation is kind of important too. There's some stuff I want to automate. It's got to be something related to writing that I can do. Maybe I'll think about this a little more. Build a, but again, I don't want to. I'm not in the business of finding solutions for consumers and saying like, oh, how can I automate you so you can create more slop to fill up my Instagram reels? So yeah, like AI SaaS stuff, unless it's like B2B stuff where you're like actually solving a corporate issue. There's like a demand, which one of my friends is working on. That's really cool. Um, then yeah, that's cool. But oh hey, I created another wrapper for ChatGPT, so now you can have slop at 4 times the speed with half the token count. Yep, let's go. That doesn't seem like a. I don't know. Those don't seem interesting to me. I'd rather build my little Unity simulation game and watch my little agents move around and build stuff. That's really cool. It's like I'm building my own little ecosystem. And that feels really cool. I feel like God almost. Uh, Yeah, it's always been a dream of mine. I've always loved video games. I was like, I've always wanted to build my own video games. So it feels cool that, I'm taking steps to getting closer to that. But yeah, I think that's it. That's enough yap for tonight. And I don't even know if I'm gonna play anything right now. But I really want. Maybe I'll go to CK3. I was like, feel like playing something right now. Let me just do the biggest yawn I've ever done in my life, and it's on me to go to sleep. Maybe I'll just go to sleep. I don't know. Kind of feel like staying up a little bit, playing something. I don't know. Tomorrow's a chest day. Gonna try 1 rep max on bench. See if we can get it up to 120. Yeah, we'll see. Okay. Anyways, love you so very much, and I will see you tomorrow maybe. Man, I'm kind of disappointed that I'm not doing these daily anymore. However, it doesn't feel wrong. Like, I don't feel like I'm missing anything. I don't feel like I'm being lazy or procrastinating. Just good. I don't know. We'll see. What do you think, Mr. Froggy? What do you think, buddy? Anyways, okay. Good night. Love you so much. Have the sweetest dreams possible, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new camera. I'm definitely seeing you tomorrow. Okay. Peace and love. Peace and love.